dear students, welcome RK Economy online classes. Now we are discussing about history of Indian planning system. What is the planning? Planning means to certain goals, certain time, certain period of time, achievement of the plan prepared and achievement prepared as the implementation of the planning. Actually, at the time of independence, Indian planning system is the compared to British India. Then first you have to know plan introduced to the first country in the world, Russia, in 1928. Why did came planning system in the world? According to old economic Christian period, in 1929, world economy was faced the Russian period. What is meant by Russian? Russian means all goods and services prices increases at the same time employment opportunities decreases. Ultimate, every consumer purchasing power fall down or decreases. That is called Russian period. Only in 1928 onwards, Russia introduced the planning system. In the world, all countries going on, it is the Russian period, but not go the Russia. All countries look at see why did the introduce the or going to the Russian period. At the time of Russian period also, before in 1928 onwards, Russian President Stalin introduced the planning system. That is main history of the planning system actually. Now initial stage. Then origin of planning Russia. Okay. Next, India derived from Russia planning system. Russia planning system, every planning system 7 years. But India only planning system is the only 5 years. At the same time, planning in India introduced 1950 only planning commission establishment 1950 March 15th. But plan implementation 1951 onwards. Once once you will go to back, how to introduce the planning system in India? In 1934, Mokshaguna Visvesvaraya wrote the book Planned Economy for India. That book is very, very important. In this book record, Indian economic system very low. On that time, need of the Indian planning system. It is the suggestion of the Indian government. 1934 onwards started the Indian planning system. It is how to introduce the planning system. What is the useful of the planning system? When they introduce the planning system, the type of questions are there on that time. In 1934 onwards, main focus on British India, how to plan prepare in India on that time situation. Then in 1938, Indian National Congress appointed committee, National Planning Committee. The committee chairman by Jawaharlal Nehru. It is Secretary K.T. Shah. First, India, it is how to prepare the plan in that period, in 1938. Then, in 1944, introduced the Bombay Plan. This plan was supported 8 industrialists. These are all supported how to introduce the planning system. When the plan is introduced, automatically India, all systems is improved. Their opinion. What is their opinion? 8 industrialists. On that time, Tata, Birla also there. Some, not only Tata, Birla, other persons are there, but all members is there. This committee chairman, S.D. Dalal. Then, in 1944, Again, Sriman Narayan Agarwal, one of the plan introduced. This plan also, what is the importance of the Sriman Agarwal? Development of rural area and development of agriculture. Why did it important the agriculture sector? At the time of independence, number of persons depend upon agriculture sector. They wanted to employment opportunities. Then government also ready to provide employment opportunities. Then development of agriculture system and development of rural industries. These are all sectors given importance. What is the importance means the origin of what is the history of the Indian planning system? Indian planning system derived from Russia already discussed. Why did it came to the Russian period? The period is all countries, all developed countries also going on, but Russia not going on. And that all countries are saying that is why it did go to it is a Russian period. And that time all countries introduced the Indian that planning system, not only India but also all world countries introduced the planning system. What is the need of the planning system? What is need of the planning system? Every country sources very low, needs very high. Sources very low, needs very high. When started the plan, every student remember that first. When the start plan, sources is limited, needs are desires unlimited, come to force the planning system. Now continue this process. Then 1947, Indian Planning Council. Another than in 1945, M.N. Roy introduced People's Plan. People's Plan means it is the M.N. Roy is the communist and it is the M.N. Roy main thinking how to development of rural area. On that time very literacy rate very low and investments members very less, few members available. Then automatically how to development of industry in the rural areas. Then the People's Plan introduced on that time. What the People's Plan introduced means people deciding factor. It is now it is the cottage industries importance. Why is it the cottage importance given importance? The rural area, if you want to development of rural area, on the time it is a few investments and a large number of investors you want the Indian government. And the time it is the planning system introduced the cottage industries, rural agriculture sector improvement. Then another than in 1951 onwards 56 it is the first plan introduced. Already before the one video explained that the Indian planning system 1 to 12 plans and 1966 to 69 annual plans, 1978 to 80 rolling plan, 1990 to 92. 12 plans plus annual plan, rolling plan, plan holiday, the up to 1951 to 2017. That is the Indian planning system. That is the Indian planning, the history of the planning. Niti Aayog 2015 January 1st onwards came to force. It is the Indian planning system. The word is what is the need of the planning? Before independence, the Indian system, economic system, how to improve. On that improvement of all people wanted the improvement of economic system. They wanted the employment opportunities, services. These are all sectors very, very important. On that time, this is the Indian planning history of the Indian planning system. After 1951, there does not face any problem. 1951 before, so many problems, the how to implementation of the Indian planning system. Economic planning very, very important. When the economic planning important, then development operations also increases. That is the history of Indian planning system. Listen and like and subscribe my video. Thank you very much.